to find a new way of putting this up a little bit. You can't see my bare legs. I think I'm actually a couple of minutes early today. Go figure. Or right on time. So before I get into the readings, though, I just want to talk for a couple of minutes. First of all, thank you to everybody that's watching. Hopefully we can get to as many people as possible today. Today's kind of a special day for me, guys. I kind of have to let you know ahead of time. I'm a little bit curious as to how today's going to go, because for the last 25 years of my life, I have been an extremely heavy smoker. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the book, The Easy Way to Stop Smoking by Alan Carr. Well, it's been recommended to me 100 times by like so many different people. And I finally got around to reading it. And you know what? I'm done. Done with those nasty, stinky things. I will never pick up another one. So today is day one of being a non-smoker. And so that means that in the back of my mind, there is that little, shedding like crazy here, but in the back of my mind, there is that little voice that's going, feed me, I want to smoke. And then my head's going, screw you, you're not going to happen. So trying to work through that at the same time as focus on spirit could be rather interesting, actually. So, basically the way spirit works is they interrupt my thoughts with their own thoughts. So, this is going to be a unique day, definitely interesting for me. So, that being said, bear with me, guys. We'll see what happens here. On another note, I just want to let everybody know that in July, I am thinking of, well, it's 90%. For sure, that I will be going to Ontario. So I'm looking to put together a big group reading for a bunch of people out there, because I know a lot of you have expressed that you would like to set a one-on-one with me, but I just will not have the time. Plus, I'll have all my children with me, so there's no way that I will have the time to do a whole bunch of one-on-ones, but a girlfriend of mine and I are trying to set up an event where we can invite like 50 people and have a big group reading. So if you guys are interested, please make sure you let me know. I'll be posting a lot more about this closer to my trip. I will also be in a couple other areas of Ontario where I'll have family who can watch the children. So I may be able to plan a few personal readings along the way. But we'll just have to play that by ear. So, all of that being said, I'm going to take a drink, wet my whistle, and then I am ready to go. Okay. So, here we go. Oops. Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Are you calling for the free readings?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your first name?
Nadine.
Nadine?
Yeah.
Okay. Nadine, you're the first caller in, and something that I like to do just helps me get focused on your energy is I like to start with a grounding exercise. So, can you sit somewhere where your feet are flat on the floor for a second?
Okay.
And then I would like you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus. Okay, interesting. Hold on a second here, hon. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is 3 or 4 people. First of all, there's a gentleman that steps forward. And he definitely lets me know that he has the other people with him. There is a lady for sure, somebody who's younger, and I'm not sure who the other person is in the background there. But he's definitely stepping around the curtain with like all these other people with him going, we're here, I brought them with me. So I'm going to try to slow him down and get him to tell me who he is. One of the ways that I ask Spirit to validate who they are is by telling me how they passed away.
Okay.
So give me a second here. Slow that down. He's still like, possibly we knew that he was ill. We just didn't expect him to go at that time exactly when he went. He's talking about something to do with distance or travel, which can either mean that he's been on the other side for a very long time or that you didn't quite get to see him before he passed away. Hold on. Or you didn't make...
Yeah,
Okay.
I was at work.
Who is this to you? Corrected me. Okay. Because when I was saying he's grown, he just laughed at me and he's like, well, except for it's not a he. So I'm like, oh, okay. Slow down. So what he's showing me again, I'm seeing the same vision of like mom with baby sitting and talking and pointing to the picture of dad. And he's showing me the thank you symbol. So I think what he's trying to say is like, thank you for telling him about, or thank you for telling her about me. Slow down. But not the bad things, is what he said. He's like, shh, you didn't tell her the bad things, and that's okay with me. You know what, though? He's also acknowledging that there's a baby boy with him on the other side. I think that's why I keep saying he. Did you guys lose a child before you had your daughter?
No.
Interesting.
I believe he might have had a baby with a previous relationship and lost it.
Okay. Because he's very much stepping forward with the soul of a child, and he's like, he's here too. He's here too. Slow it down. So he's stepping forward, or he's kind of stepping back, I should say, but the lady is stepping forward. She steps forward with, I don't know the name of the feather, but whenever I see this specific type of feather, it usually means that somebody has some type of connection to native culture. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, because she's stepping forward with the feather in her hair. Hold on. She's taking deep breaths so she can breathe free and clear on the other side. So this would be somebody that had a breathing issue here in the physical world. And even as I'm saying that, she's like coughing and choking. Slow this down. She's like, only at the end it got that bad. Where who's the lady that really suffered like breathing wise at the end of her life? Like I feel like I can't get a breath at all, but she's specific that it's like the last week of her life. So oftentimes I'll see that with somebody who has like cancer or something like that, and it's that last week where their mind kind of goes and this lady is just like, I don't know if they had to intubate her maybe or something, and that's what she's talking about, the breath.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about the breathing or not. I don't know who that would be.
Okay, I'm going to ask her to validate who she might be.
I don't know if it would be my grandma. I'm not sure.
What she does is she lets me know that she has the younger person with her. She's definitely an older lady. It's not like somebody who's extremely young. She lived a good life when she was here in the physical world, but she also lost a child. There is a child, like, I believe this would be underneath her, so one of her children that would be on the other side. Does one of your grandmothers have a child with her on the other side?
Yeah.
Okay, that's who this lady is. Do you know how she passed?
In the hospital. Um, Not quite certain what happened, but she's up there in age too.
Okay, that would make sense with the information she's showing me about living a good life, but not being able to breathe at the end. Slow this down. She's talking about that she stands close to you a lot, that she's trying to answer your prayers, but she's telling you to change the way that you're asking them a little bit. She's like, my granddaughter prays so much. She has so many, like, questions, like, almost like you're saying, please help me. I need help with this, and I need help with that, and I need help with this. But the problem is, if you say to Spirit, what do? They won't answer. They can't, because they're not allowed to interrupt our free will. Do you see what I mean? But if you say, take me to, the nearest Tim Hortons, then they can... Okay, you know what? I heard myself say that, you guys. My head is like 2 steps ahead with what Spirit's saying to me. So give me a second to like make her slow down so I can go back and say that to you again. She's funny. She thought that was hilarious. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is Spirit is like a GPS. You have to be specific. You can't just say, take me where I want to go. It needs a specific address. Spirit's the same way. You have to be able to say to them, not what do? You have to say, I want to do this. Now help me make that possible. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, instead of saying, how do I change my life? How do I change my life? Show me how. You just say, look, I want to change it. I want to move. Or I want a job that's this. Be specific about what you want, and then they can help bring it into your world. But what they cannot do is tell you what's best for you. That's something that you have to decide. And your grandma just keeps talking about how you're in this position right now where there's all kinds of like forks in the road coming up. Do you know what I mean by forks in the road?
No.
Forks in the road is where, if you think of the shape of a fork, you've got different directions that you can go. There's all kinds of choices coming up.
I see, yeah.
Hold on, slow down. She's like, you're not alone. Please let her know she's not alone. She's not alone. She's overemphasizing this. So have you been feeling really alone lately?
Yeah.
She's like, you are so not alone. Then she like grabs baby's cheeks and she's like, oh my God, those chubby cheeks. I talk about Grandma Gush all the time, but that's like seriously, literally Grandma Gush. And she's like pointing to the teeth. She's like, almost there, almost there. So she's got one that's almost through.
Hey, yeah, she's got pretty big cheeks.
And there's a tooth that's almost through, correct?
Hey, yeah.
That's what
Two of them.
She's like pointing to the teeth, saying, almost there, almost there. Just trying to validate for you that she sees what's going on the other side, and even though you may not have been able to spend a huge amount of time with her here in the physical world, it doesn't mean that she's not still watching over you on the other side and very much trying to help guide you. The gentleman is pulling his energy back, and he's making me feel like he's still got some learning and some work to do on the other side. But he's still around you a lot, especially when it comes to your daughter. He's showing me again the thank you and for the name. I'm not sure what that means. He's pointing from himself to her, which is usually my symbol for either somebody's named after him or that she's just like him. I'm not sure, but he's showing me the thank you with that. Do you know what that means?
His name was Calvin, and he liked the name Aaliyah, so called her Kalia.
Aww, that gives me goosebumps. He's like thanking you for that because he knows that you did it in honor of him. He's like promising to learn everything that he needs to do on the other side so he can get right and help guide her for the rest of her life. He's like, you won't be alone raising her. I promise you. I'm getting right. I'm not drinking anymore on this side. My head is clear. And he's pulling his energy back. With thank yous, with gratitude. He's pulling his energy back. I hope that was helpful, hon. Hello?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You have a great day.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Completely wrong, but I thought I saw something about a free reading.
You are absolutely right, and you got through.
Pardon?
I said, and you got through. I only do the readings for an hour, and it can be pretty hard to get through, but you got through.
It was my first time calling, so...
Woohoo! It's meant to be.
Yay.
Okay, what's your first name, hon?
Sorry, it's cutting out a bit. I'm going to try and not move a whole lot here.
Okay, and the other line beeps the whole time, so I know you might hear that as well, but
Okay.
I just try to work through it. Okay, so what is your first name?
Michelle.
Michelle. Okay, Michelle, the way I like to start this is by starting with a quick little grounding exercise. Just helps me get focused on your energy. So if I can get you to sit with your feet flat on the floor for a minute, and then I would like you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus. Okay, give me a second to make sense of this. Whoever this lady is, she comes through with flair, I have to tell you. Hold on.
Okay.
So, the way that I see spirits step forward after the breathing exercise is kind of like they come through the curtain like if they were on stage, right? And she like prances forward, almost like, I'm back, bitches, is kind of how she like puts that.
What is she? Sorry?
She like, I don't think this is exactly what she said, but it's very similar to, ta-da, I'm back, bitches, like something along those lines, right? Like I said, she comes through with flair, like she's making it known she's here. Don't know who she is yet, but one of the ways I asked Spirit to validate rather than me trying to guess relationships is for her to tell me how she passed away.
Okay.
So give me this, just give me a second. She's definitely describing to me a battle, like battling with something. So she shows me the C, which is my symbol for either cancer or some other type of debilitating disease. I definitely feel like she fought the good fight. Like, we tried. We tried to fight this. I did the best I could. But she's showing... Pardon?
I know lots of people like that.
Okay. She's showing me the body scan. So when I see the body scan, it kind of means one of two things. It's one, that there was multiple issues at the end she's taken me, and it's like, you know, I feel like at the end I passed of something completely different. Like if I had cancer the whole time and then at the end my heart went out. Or it's like something completely unrelated that took her. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Slow this down. Hold on a sec. Slow that down. But she's like not in any pain anymore. That's the other thing that the body scan is talking about, is that she's pain-free. I want to go above you. So when I see them go above you, that would mean like grandparents, mom, aunts, stuff like that. To the side would be like spouses, siblings, friends. Underneath you is children, nieces, nephews, etc. So do you know who this lady is that would be above you?
It's funny because the only person I can think of, and I know she's around me a lot, is my great-grandmother.
Okay.
Except hard to picture her saying those words. Even though she was very, very headstrong, she didn't hide things.
Right.
And I mean, she lived a long, long life, and whatever occurred at the end, I wouldn't know what she actually passed of. I don't think any of us did.
Okay, hold on. So, when I ask her, interesting. So, you kind of don't ask this lady anything. She just tells you, I have to say. That's the energy she's stepping for. She's like showing me that she's well dressed again. I feel like whatever this was towards the end of her life where she wasn't in control of how she got to dress, that was like excruciating for her.
Okay.
And she's definitely showing me that she's very fashionable on the other side, very put together. And I feel like this is a relief. Like I feel better when I'm put together.
She always was.
There we go.
She always went out, wearing something nice. Pictures I saw her when she was younger and stuff too. It was always the same way.
So this would be her way of validating that this is her soul that's stepping forward. Okay. So, interesting. I'm asking her what her message is because I feel like she's kind of beating around the bush a little bit. So give me a second here. So what she does is she takes the white blanket and she puts it around a couple of the family members' shoulders. So the white blanket is my symbol for somebody who has either health or stress issues. And so she's letting me know that a number of your family members are going through a bit of a hard time right now. And that she's aware of this and watching over it. Not just her, she's showing me that there's a number of other people on the other side, but I feel like she's the better communicator. That's why she's here today. That's why she's stepping forward.
She's always been more the matriarch.
Yeah.
Watching over everybody.
She's so proud of you. When you say that she's always been the matriarch, she shows me my symbol for pride and she points to you and she's like, that's you now. She's like, that you're in that role now. You're taking over that role. The older you get, the more you slide into that matriarchal role. And she's extremely proud of you for that.
I appreciate that.
Almost like you had to work to get used to being domesticized, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, because I wasn't wanting to do any of that, and I got stuck in a role with 4 kids, and I was primary caregiver to all of them, even being with their dad. And still taking care of my entire family, my external family, and everyone else.
That's why she's around you a lot, because she tries to give you that strength and that courage and that comfort that she knows that you need. And she really wants you to know how proud she is of you for that. She's definitely going to the gentleman above you, so I'm pretty sure this would be Dad, but I'm not sure what she's doing here. She put the white blanket around his shoulders, and then I see her holding his hand. And a lot of times, see, I always get scared to say this because I'm not sure if he's already on the other side or if... because oftentimes when I see them put the white blanket around somebody's shoulder and then take their hand, that's their way of acknowledging that they were watching over them before they crossed over. Is your dad still here in the physical world?
My dad is still here. Like, I don't know my biological father, but my dad, the one I grew up knowing as my dad, he's still here.
Interesting. Has he had some health issues recently?
He's had some past. I mean, he was a severe alcoholic for a long time, and I know that caused some issues. As far as I know, he's fairly healthy. Okay. He works a lot. I don't sometimes talk to him as often as I'd like.
Okay, so hold on a second, because she's very much referencing him.
It's either him or it'd be my father-in-law, who I'm really close to. Now, he's always had health issues.
So the 2 main health issues that she's concerned about is the chest, the breathing or the congestion in the in the chest. I don't know if somebody's just had the flu or what the heck. And it's also the mobility. She's talking about somebody's been slowing down. The gentleman's been slowing down a lot lately.
That probably would be him. I know he's a heavy smoker. Sometimes he doesn't feel good. He gets chest pain. I know that he's had a heart attack in the past. Several strokes.
Your father or your father-in-law?
My father-in-law.
There we go. So I think she's trying to offer some, preparation in the fact they'll never tell you, oh, so-and-so is going to die so soon. You know what I mean? But I think she's not saying that, okay? But yeah. I feel like what she is saying is that, generally speaking, he is coming towards the end of his time here in the physical world. And she's trying to just offer comfort that she's been watching over him, even though I don't feel like there's any relation between these two. Because he's important to you, he's important to her and to the rest of the family. So they've been watching over him, and that he's got a lot of family there on the other side that are going to be there to greet his soul when he gets there. And it's almost like your grandmother is the one that she's like the leader. That's kind of why she comes in like, ta-da, I'm here. We can start the show now, So she's kind of taking charge in helping to make sure that he's not going to spend 1 second alone. And she emphasizes that. She's like, oh, Tracy, we really can't let this one wander. He'll be lost.
Yeah, he probably would be. As much as he likes to think he got it all together, he needs guidance the majority of the time.
Interesting. She looked at you and she said, you need guidance right now. She's like, I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. She's like showing me the whispering of the ear, which is the symbol that they've heard everything you've said since they've passed away. She's showing me again that situation of praying for some help. Hold on a second. She's like, but we send the help, and then you get mad. Like, well, that's not what I wanted to hear. It's like, it's almost like if you pray for a new car, and this happened to me, so be very careful whenever you pray for anything. Pray for a new car, and then you go to pick up your kids from school the next day, and somebody crunches your old one. So guess what? Now you get a new car, but maybe not exactly the way that you wanted it to happen.
That's exactly what happened.
Is it? Because that's what she's showing, is that, you ask for something, and so we give you the scenario to help make that happen, but then instead of saying thank you, you're upset about it. Like, you can't win, she says.
I tried to say thank you. It was just we've had so many issues with it afterwards. I know I should just be grateful, but just seemed like a whole lot of stuff all at once.
But
feeling guilt from even my ex for having a new vehicle.
You know what, though? But that's how you know that spirit, that God, that powers that be are involved in your life, is when one thing after another seems to be happening and there's no real explanation for it. Sometimes it can appear really challenging, and sometimes it can be, really great things happening one after another. But the point of it is, it's all designed to answer your prayers. When you're asking for a prayer and asking for direction or for help to take you to somewhere that you need to go, Spirit's going to send what you need to get there. So if what you need to get to where you're asking to go is some clarification in the mind, or to be angry at somebody to kind of push yourself away from them, or some clarification on whatever it might be, Spirit's going to send you exactly what you need to make what you asked for happen. Does that make sense?
It does. And
she's just telling you that it's not always the way that you think it should be. Sometimes the easiest way for them to do that is, I really feel like somebody's trying to point some truth in your face, if this makes sense. Somebody's trying to get you to see the truth in the situation. And I say somebody because I believe it's more than just your great grandma on the other side. There's a number of people They're not being specific coming forward and explaining who each one of them are at this moment. I feel like because we only have a limited amount of time. But the message is more important than specifically each one of those people, is that to please just understand that your prayers are being answered, that they may not be being answered the way that you thought that they should have been, but they're being answered nonetheless. And she's showing me the thumbs up sign, that you just need to know that you are moving in the direction that you need to go. Hold on. Slow that down, slow that down. She's like, when you've had enough, you'll jump. When you've had enough, you'll just do it. Mm-hmm. Like there's some kind of decision that you're kind of putting off.
The decision I'm putting off?
Mm-hmm.
Probably lots.
Huh. Specifically, she's taking you to the house. Hold on.
To my house?
Well, I'm seeing my symbol for house, which either means somebody's thinking of moving, has just moved, renovating, etc., etc. It's something to do with the house. And that's...
Like cleaning.
Pardon?
Trying to declutter and get rid of everything in here.
I see. That feels extremely important. I don't know why. It sounds like just a day-to-day kind of chore that maybe has no extreme relevance, but it feels extremely relevant.
It is. It's stress, and I think it's comfort. And trying to get rid of it so I can move on.
And give you the confidence to go forward in your life, is what your grandma just said. Mm-hmm. She's like, if you can tackle that, you can tackle anything. And she goes, you know what?
It seems overwhelming when I walk in, so.
She's like, you know what? You got this. I got you. She's like, I'm going to help send stuff, like boxes or help when you need it exactly. And she's like, I'll get somebody to take some stuff to the dump. No problem. Don't worry. We'll set it up on this side. Almost like that's what's been your excuse to stop you from doing it sometimes, is like, well, I don't have anywhere to take it anyway, so never mind. She's pulling her energy back. She just kissed your cheek, and she's like, I love you. She's like, showing me the symbol for be careful what you're thinking in your head, because they hear your thoughts, and you have not been so kind to yourself recently. She's like, tell her she's not stupid. I don't want to hear that ever again. You're not stupid. So it's almost like if, you know the scenario, you're walking through the kitchen, you stub your toe, you're like, oh, I'm so stupid. It's like, no, stop saying that to yourself, because your subconscious registers that, and you carry it with you. You know what I mean?
I do.
She's like, you just wait. All of this is happening because there's some really good things, some really good opportunities that are coming up in your life, but you will never grasp them until you have the confidence and the security and the happiness in your life to reach for it.
And that's true.
And that's why you're going through the little challenges that you are right now, because each one is set up to take you to exactly where you've been praying to go.
Makes sense.
I hope that was helpful today.
Pardon?
I said I hope that was helpful.
It was. It did help. It gave me some clarity on these things I already knew, but maybe just needed to hear again.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. You take care.
I really do appreciate it more than you know.
Aw, no problem.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Were you calling for the free readings?
Yes, my name is Janika.
Say that for me again, please, hon. Janika?
Janika.
Okay. Cool name. I like that. Okay. So, before we start, I'd just like to start the grounding exercise, if you don't mind.
Yep.
So, if you could put both feet flat on the floor for me for a minute. And then I would like you to take a deep breath, but picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus. Okay. Interesting. Give me a second to sort this out. So there's definitely people from two separate families stepping forward. The first person feels younger. They're showing me the white lighters all around them. So white lighters are generally basically what they are beings of like pure white light that help heal souls and situations. So generally I see them around people that either take responsibility for their own passing, committed suicide, or that their passing was sudden, unexpected, or traumatic, so that they needed healing, or the people left behind needed healing because of the situation.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
It could be two people.
Okay, hold on. I believe this would be a male, and he just keeps snapping his fingers. Like, it was so quick. And I just feel like there's a sense of regret. Like, I'm definitely taking some responsibility for my passing, even though I don't feel like this was what I set out to do. Almost like maybe an accidental overdose or something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, not the overdose part, but the sudden and the
accidental part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you explain that to me?
So my fiance got in the vehicle with someone who had been drinking.
I see. Okay. So that's what I mean, where I say that it's not like he set out for this to happen, but he didn't stop it either.
Yeah.
So he's definitely the first person that steps forward. Hold on. He shows me my symbol for distance. Was this some time ago, hun?
Yes.
Okay, because he shows me my symbol for distance, and then he places hearts all around you, and I feel like he gets so excited. He's like, yay! Like, I feel like you've fallen in love again, or you're ready to fall in love again, because he's showing me the repairing of a heart. Does that make sense?
Yep.
He wants you to know that, oh my gosh, he's almost going to make me cry, that he is so extremely grateful that you were able to move on with your life. I feel like he's sorry that he wasn't the one that was able to share that life with you, but that he is extremely grateful that you were able to move on. And this new guy, he's just like me. He's just like me. Like, if you could have found, I don't know if they're exactly twins, but like this same kind of guy, almost like you found his double in the world.
Yep.
He's like, so he definitely has my approval.
Awesome.
He's so proud of you. Hold on a second. He's showing me my symbol for thank you, and I feel like it's after he passed. He's taking me back to after he passed, and he's showing me the thank you symbol, and he's talking about to do with his family. Almost like, how do I explain that? Hold on. Almost like, thank you for the comfort that you gave to my family. They really needed that. Do you know what he's talking about there?
I don't remember like a specific event, but I stayed in touch with them even to this day, and it was 15 years ago that he passed.
And you know, even as you say that, I feel like that gives, his mom is still here.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that gives her a lot of comfort to be able to speak to you, because you're like her last connection to him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why he's thanking you for that. And he's like thanking you for sharing that. Did you invite her to the wedding? Are you okay? First
I'm
of all,
not married.
Well, this is coming up, I have to say. He's showing me wedding bells.
Okay.
He's showing me thank you for including my family, including my mom, like inviting her. Hold on. But even though she may have to travel from a distance, does she live a little bit of ways away from you?
Yeah, she's in another province.
That's what I thought. Okay, hold on a sec. Are you guys trying to have children at all?
Yeah.
Because that's what he's showing me. He's like, well, you better hurry up and get married because there's a couple of kids here, but you need to get married first.
We have one already.
Well, I'm seeing a couple more on the other side that he's definitely getting to play with already. He's like, I'm uncle over here. I get to be like an uncle. But he very much wants you to know that he knows of your children and that there is more children to come.
Okay.
Slow this down. I'm seeing one of each. I'm seeing the pigtails. Like, the one that you have now, is this a girl?
No.
It's the boy? Okay, because the next one is definitely, I would say, girl, because he's showing me that in total there's 2 boys and 1 girl. But there's something very special about the little girl. I'm not exactly sure how to explain that. Hold on. Oh, I see. Almost like you desperately want a girl. That's okay. So what they showed me was myself many years ago. I had 2 boys. My 3rd child, I was like, please God, let this be a girl. I want a girl so bad. And finally I got my girl. And he keeps showing me that scenario. So I think what he's trying to do is give you that reassurance that even if you have, like, your next child is a boy, don't worry, the little girl is coming.
Okay.
But I do feel like he wants this gentleman to be honest about it. Like, what is that saying that people, the generation above me used to use? Make an honest woman of you, so to speak.
Yeah.
He wants you to put a ring on it, he says. He's pulling his energy back. He's like, I'm not going to take too much time. I just needed to let you know that I was okay. I'm extremely happy that you're moving on and that you're in love. I need you to know that you have my absolute blessing, and that I will always be like a guardian angel on this side. For you, for your children, that's never going to go away.
That's awesome.
I hope that was helpful, hon.
That was great. Thank you.
You have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Were you calling for the free readings?
I was.
Okay.
I'm kind of shocked I got through.
It's a good day for that. Some people have gotten through that have never gotten through before today, so that's awesome. What's your first name, hun?
Pardon me? Sorry.
What's your first name?
Christina.
Christina. Okay, Christina, if we can start with a little grounding exercise first, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can sit with both feet flat on the floor.
Yep.
And then I'd like you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus. This is very interesting. Hold on a second as everybody's pulling forward. Christina, do you have a connection to the Native culture?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are Native by chance?
Quarter.
Okay. Because what I just saw, and you'll have to forgive my ignorance on this, I'm just not as well versed in the Native culture as I wish I was. However, I'm not sure who these people are yet, but as they step forward, they all surrounded you, and I felt like did like some sort of native healing dance, or some type of like healing, or healing isn't even the right word, like fixing kind of chant or dance or something, whatever it's called.
That's interesting. I could use it.
They're apparently aware of that. Okay, so let me just single them out and see what they're doing here. Slow down, slow down, slow down. So it's led by this lady. She steps forward. Hold on. Lots of nurturing as she steps forward. She just wraps her arms around you and she's like, of course I'm here. Of course we're here. Of course everybody's here. We're listening. We know that you've been having a little bit of a hard time. We're very much listening. Hold on. So one of the ways that I ask Spirit to validate who they are is by telling me how they passed away. She takes me to the head, which is my symbol for either stroke, aneurysm, dementia, Alzheimer's, or confusion, something to do with the brain.
Yeah.
Who is that to you?
I'm thinking it's my mom's mother.
Okay. She's like, all better, and I'm not in any pain anymore. But she takes me to the feet or the leg area where the pain was. Does that make sense?
I've never actually met her. She died before I was born, so I just know stories.
Interesting.
My mom was small too when she passed away. So I know she had TB, and I know she had some issues with the brain because TB attacked her brain and stuff. So,
and
the leg part, I'm not too sure of.
Well, TB is a very painful disease from what I've read about it, and that would be why she's going, I'm free, like I'm not in any pain anymore on this side.
Yeah, it could be it.
Okay, so hold on a sec. She's definitely brought a team around you, almost like they're trying to protect you from yourself. Hold on a sec. It's interesting. They're showing me the fork in the road, but this is what she shows me. It's as if you're walking along a path and one path starts to go down and it looks like it's a lot easier to walk. The other path looks like it goes up and it looks like it's a lot more difficult to climb. But the thing is, when you get to the bottom of that first hill that looks easy, it's nothing but snakes and rocks and scary stuff. And when you get to the top of the other hill that looks a little bit harder to climb, it's an oasis. It's sunshine and trees and water and beauty. And she's talking about how that if we really want happiness in our lives, we have to take the challenging road. We have to challenge ourselves more. It can't be so easy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Hold on a second. She said she's just here today to give you some clarity about which path that you should be on. Not because she's telling you what to do, but because you've been asking questions, praying for what is the least painful path? What is the best path for me to take going forward? And so she's trying to answer that question for you. And what she's telling you is to take the path that has more work on it. That's more of a challenge because that's the one that has all the rewards at the end. The other path, the easy path, the one that's so much easier, is full of snakes. And I have to say that it feels like there's a relationship specifically that she's talking about here. She keeps pushing somebody away from you. Are you in a relationship right now?
Yeah.
Has this been not the best relationship for you?
Off and on.
She's like, that's exactly
sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
I think that's exactly why she's pushing him away, and she's like, you know what, you can do this. It's harder to do it on your own. It's a little more challenging to do it on your own completely. However, at the end of that road of doing it on your own, you are completely free on the other side. Not on the other side isn't dead, but on the other side of the challenge. She just wants to validate that for you, because it's almost like if you've been wondering this in your mind, like, do I take this, like, do I or don't I? Do I or don't I? And so, again, Spirit will never tell you what to do, but what she can do is show you what the path is like if you stay the easy way, and you stay. It's filled with pits and snakes and not so nice stuff. And the other one, if you put a little work into it and you take the hard road, it's filled with nothing but beautiful things.
Perfect.
I hope that was helpful.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You have a great day.
You too. Thanks.
Bye. Okay, guys, unfortunately, I know there's like 6 minutes left, but I can't take another call because this phone is flashing at me like it's going to die any second. I really need new devices. One of these days, I'm going to do like some big marathon, or like you see on TV where they try to earn money for new equipment, because I definitely need some new equipment. If I had new equipment, then I would be able to do this more than once a week. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I'm actually really impressed with Spirit. Like, smoking, the first day of not smoking, it's constantly in my brain, but while I was doing those readings, not a thought. So, yay, it's not going to affect this. That actually makes me feel really happy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you again next Tuesday. See you later. Bye-bye.